Starting out at a shoe factory, a teenaged Joe Ekins never could have imagined he'd eventually be credited with taking out not just one German Tiger tank, but 3. Serving as a gunner in France during Operation Overlord, and with little training on how to fire the gun of a Sherman Firefly, he successfully fought back against the enemy with immense courage. 17-year-old Ekins had volunteered with the 1st Northamptonshire Yeomanry, feeling that, despite his young age, it was his moral obligation to help in the fight against Germany. After minimal training, he was assigned as a Sherman Firefly gunner with a squadron. A modified M4, the Firefly had a powerful Ordnance QF 17-pounder anti-tank gun that was capable of penetrating 233mm armour from 1,000 metres away. It was the British Army's counter to the powerful tanks being manned by the Germans, in particular the heavily armoured Tiger I. Now, before getting into Ekins' incredible actions, we first need to discuss the operation he was involved in. After landing in Normandy as part of D-Day, he and the 1st Northamptonshire Yeomanry were tasked with taking part in Operation Totalize. Taking place between August 8 and 9, 1944, it was an Allied offensive centred around the 1st Canadian Army. The aim was to break through the German defences south of Caen and east of where the Allies were stationed. From there they'd capture Falaise, with the ultimate goal being to collapse the German front and cut off any sort of retreat. While resulting in an Allied victory, Operation Totalize caused high losses on both sides. The Allies, made up of troops from Canada, Poland and the United Kingdom, suffered 1,256 casualties, while German totals were around 3,000. On August 8, 1944, the 1st Northamptonshire Yeomanry and elements of the 51st Highland Infantry Division arrived in Saint-Aignan-de-Cramnil. While B Squadron was ordered to remain, A and C Squadrons moved south and positioned themselves in a wooded area, which provided them some cover. C moved to the east, A was stationed along the southern edge, and 3 Troop sat on the western side. Joe Ekins was part of A Squadron's 3 Troop and was sat in his Sherman Firefly, awaiting the German arrival. Before long, 7 Tiger I tanks appeared, but from their position, Ekins and his comrades could only see 3. As he later recounted, his commander waited until the enemy was about 800 yards away before ordering his men to fire. Ekins was told to aim at the rear of the 3 Tigers, securing a hit after just 2 shots. His Firefly was hit in the turret during the firefight, but remained operational. He managed to hit a second enemy tank, which exploded, leading to the assumption the shot had struck the Tiger's ammunition. Speaking with the Tank Museum, Ekins said, "By this time, the first tank of the 3 realised what's going on, and he was starting to mill around and looking for cover. So it turned a bit towards us, but we pulled out and fired 2 shots at him and hit him as well. And he went up, and I thought, thank God it's not going to be us today." In the span of just 12 minutes, Ekins had taken out 3 German Tigers. This was followed shortly after by the destruction of a Panzer Kampfwagen 4. Among the tank personnel Ekins is believed to have taken out on that fateful day was Michael Wittmann, better known as the Black Baron. He was among the Waffen-SS's best tank commanders, with a confirmed 138 Allied tanks taken out, earning him the distinction of Panzer Ace. Among Wittmann's most noteworthy engagements were the Battle of Villers-Bocage, where he ambushed elements of the British Armoured Division, and the German invasion of the Soviet Union. His success on the battlefield even led the German government to use his image as propaganda. While a number of units took credit for taking him out, historians have since agreed it was likely Ekins who fired the fatal shot, placing Wittmann within one of the 3 Tigers destroyed by him. Following Operation Totalize, Joe Ekins was reassigned as a radio operator within another tank in A Squadron. He held this position until the end of the war and was discharged in 1945 after contracting diphtheria. Back home, he returned to the shoe factory where he'd previously worked and eventually became the manager of a number of different shoe companies. He retired in 1988, and just over 2 decades later, on February 1st, 2012, he passed away at the age of 88.